Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker. Well, today I'm going to be tackling a rough subject. You see, a lot of the men in my life, they have been arrested, normally for crimes they did not commit. It was either mistaken identity, wrong place, wrong time, simply being associated with someone who was doing something illegal that they were not aware of. So when they came, they just came and arrested everybody, right? So one might wonder, oh my God, okay, if they were arrested, did their properties get seized? Or does that mean that your properties are going to be seized once that happens to you? So here's my answer. Okay. Being incarcerated does not automatically strip you from property or any financial assets, including mortgage notes, tax liens, the whole nine yard. The only way that happens is if the court orders that it be taken away. And normally the court will order that if, there's something special in the lawsuit against you, if bankruptcy is involved. And if it's a criminal case, it's more like if a crime was actually done on the property or you acquired the asset illegally, then yes, they'll take it away from you. Otherwise, no, they normally won't. Now, the other way where things can get a little sticky is, let's say you have a mortgage on the house and you go to jail. Well, then the creditors can come after you. They can place a lien on those properties and they can seize the assets. Okay. But again, they would have to go through proper channels, legal channels, in order to do something like that. All right. Now, so what do you do? Well, when you go to jail, prison, etc., it's good to have a power of attorney. Now, if you have a property manager, you probably don't really need to have a power of attorney. But see, property managers are really only needed when you have multiple homes or if you own an apartment building. But if you have a tax lien, a mortgage note, just one house or two houses, then you probably are the property manager. You probably won't need a property manager. And if it's a mortgage note, then you have a servicer. Okay. Now, the way I'm set up with one of my servicers, all the money goes directly into my account. So there's really not too much of a problem there. However, let's say, for example, we had one homeowner that did not pay for a couple of months. When that happens, they normally call you and ask you what you need to do. So in that space, yeah, I need a power of attorney. Okay. And it's probably, good to sort of set that up beforehand. You can also, of course, use a virtual assistant if you have one to help out when things get sticky. Okay. Now, when it comes to, again, let's say you want to sell property, sell notes, etc., you're going to have to rely on a power of attorney in order to do that. Someone who you know, who you trust, you would have to designate them and say, this person would be the one that I want to make business decisions for me. Okay. So all of that can still happen while incarcerated, while you're in jail. Okay. While you're there. But I would say, you know what, honestly, out of all of the different ways in which you can invest in real estate, if you were to be incarcerated, the mortgage note is actually the easiest one to manage, because especially if it's performing, 9 times out of 10, you're not really doing anything except for collecting checks. So, that's basically the gist of it all. Because basically, especially if you have it set up the way I have it set up with one particular servicer, the money just comes into your account. Now, the other servicer that I use, unfortunately, they mail the check to me. So basically, what I would do is put an additional name on the bank account, just basically so that, my checks can be deposited, or, let the bank know that, hey, this person is going to be depositing checks for me, signing them, and what have you. Again, you got to be so careful, because you got to trust. It has to be somebody you trust, and trust is not an easy thing to do in this day and age. Okay. Now, when it comes to any legal action, again, and that's another reason why it's good to have a service like prepaid legal. Why? Because in case the creditors come for you because you owe a debt on a house and you're not going to be able to pay it for the fact that you're still in jail, well, if you have prepaid legal, they can show up to the court without you actually being there, and that can help out a lot. It helps out a hell of a lot. So honestly, like, really, I hate to say that we really have to think about this kind of stuff, but unfortunately, you do. Unfortunately, you do. You're still, even though you're in jail, you're still responsible for paying your debt. You're still responsible for paying your taxes. And that's why, too, some people, when they buy mortgage notes, they don't buy lease option and lease to purchase. Why? Because when you buy that, a lot of times, especially if it's not in the contract, but most of the times it is, you are responsible for the taxes. That's why a lot of people with mortgage notes, they only buy like deed of trust or just straight up mortgages, So basically, that's it. Just so you know, as long as the legal rights to the property and any other instrument, such as a mortgage note or a tax lien, they're not challenged or seized while a person is incarcerated, they still retain or hold ownership and the right to receive payments. However, again, if they obtained them illegally or anything illegal occurred on that property, then yeah, it can be seized. All right. That's why management is key in maintaining your investments during this particular time. And honestly, it's not just incarceration, don't mean to laugh, but it's also because, anything else can happen to you. It's good to have these as safeguards put in place for your assets. Okay? So guys, I hope I helped you and I gave you some information that will assist you with your real estate investing, or even honestly just home ownership, because you might not necessarily be an investor, but you own a single family home. Same thing. It's unfortunate that we have to think like this, but like I said, between my family and friends, 6 of them have been arrested for crimes they did not commit. Okay, so if it happens to me, It happens to them. It can happen to you too. All right. So guys, that's all. Please feel free to share this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.